everybody. Welcome to Between Two Eagles Nest. I am your host, the legend JJ Britt, in our brand new studios. Hope you guys like it. It's pretty cool. Can't wait to get this thing rocking and rolling even more. Uh, we've been off for a little while because of districts, but so glad to be back with you guys. We have a lot to go with. Got our first guest coming back. My brother, right here, y'all guys. Y'all remember him? At least I hope you do. Mr. Troy Booth, how you doing, bud?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Good. Good
Thanks
to
for
see you.
having me.
Yeah, man. So what we do right off the bat is we go run through the scoreboard, and the scoreboard is going to be a little different today because it's off season now officially. Um, so obviously there's no games being played right now. So we'll just go over what happened in some of the districts and what's going on now. So uh, Eagle Lake, T-ball, and rookie A teams went to Palm Beach Gardens not too long ago and had a great showing out there in the state tournament. So it was really fun. I got to watch some of them on the Game Changer. It was really good. They did a really good job. Eagle Lake 9U and 10U went to Fort Myers this past weekend, or 2 weekends ago, and really had a good time. Won some games up there and had a great time with that, guys. So congratulations to all those guys. Our 13U is leaving next week, headed to Sarasota for their state tournament. So we want to wish Coach Bringle and all them boys a good luck and go get that trophy, guys. Want to say congratulations to the Auburndale 12U team. They won the district here. They went up to Ocala for the state and finished runner-ups
Nice.
in the state. So they qualified to go to up in the panhandle of Florida to play in the regionals. Julington Creek, I do believe, is where they're going to compete in the regionals. Also, want to say a big congratulations to Bartow 10U team. They won the state tournament in Fort Myers, so big congratulations to them. They're headed to Alexandria, Virginia, for the regionals. For regionals. So good luck to them guys, and we're rooting for you, District 12. So that's the end of the scoreboard, y'all guys. Once again, I want to welcome my brother, Troy Booth here. You doing all right, buddy?
I'm doing wonderful.
Good, buddy. Good. Um, so talk. Everybody knows by now we're brothers and all that. We know you grew up like I did right here at the ballpark. Tell us your feeling about what it means being, growing up here at Eagle Lake.
It was a great experience. Looking back now as a kid, being an adult, growing up as a kid, it's it was a great experience. Growing up with friends, buddies, coming down to the ball. We played baseball every day.
Yeah.
If it wasn't baseball, it was
Football.
football. Football was basketball. Fortunately for us, though, we was at the ballpark mostly every night too, because our stepdad Dennis. So
Yeah.
we was here every night, and so we got the experience. I remember being 5, 6 years old watching majors and pony league. That's what it was called then. Just watching them, just being at the ball field every night, and it was just a great experience growing up in Eagle Lake, and I wouldn't change nothing.
Yeah. But what was some of your favorite coaches that you had? You remember?
Yeah, well, Dennis being one.
Yeah.
Mr. Clevenger. A lot of people don't know. Back home
Yep.
Merit.
Yeah.
That's when I played t-ball. He was a good coach. But Dennis pretty much coached me all the way through minors, majors.
My set's falling apart.
But we had a few good coaches. But he's the one that kind of just brings a lot of memories.
Yeah. Some of your favorite teammates that you remember. Some of the guys that you played with.
There's a lot. I have Joey Bruce, played a lot of years with him. Timmy Usler, he's one good friend of mine. He's no longer with us. Died a long time ago, but again, he was a great teammate
Yeah.
there. I mean, there's so many more. Um, what was great about me, my birthday fell in July, so I always had to play up a year.
Right.
You know, then I didn't have a. You know, you played your division. That's what you played. You didn't play. Well, I want to play 12U when I'm 10. You didn't have that towards you.
Birthday's coming up right
Yep,
now,
July
very soon.
17th.
July 17th.
So I always played a couple years. You know, the olders. You know, so it's it was great. But there's so many teammates. So I mean, I can't really call nobody out. You know, thinking of anything right now. So
Yeah. So you got out of when you got old enough to go into high school, you didn't play baseball, but you played football, right?
yep, football and basketball. Yep.
Yeah. So
Played baseball as a freshman.
okay,
Yep.
okay. You played at Lake Region.
Mm-hmm.
So what? So tell me, what did that experience kind of give you into like moving forward? What was the transition for you like?
Um, it was an easy transition. The biggest thing was just knowing how to prepare. You know, when you're in little league, coming out to the field, it's just like, all right, go get a baseball and warm up. Go throw the ball.
Right.
Hit the ball against the fence. You know, when you get to high school, it was a transition of you got to get there early. You know, you got to do your stretches. You have to, certain drills you have to get put in and things like that before you actually start practicing. So that was the biggest transition. They wasn't going out there like, all right, we're just taking BP. We're going out there, we're just going to pitch. Went through a process to even get to them,
Right.
get to them activities. So.
Okay. Um, so we'll move on. I had the opportunity to coach. You brought Callahan over when he was 3, right?
Yep.
And he played for me in the small ball division one year, and enjoyed that.
Yep.
What was that like? Because I know you know me. I've coached pretty much all my life without a kid.
Yep.
And then when Hunter come along, me having to coach Hunter, I know I know how that meant to me to be able to coach him,
Yeah.
my own kid, So what does that mean? What did that mean to you to be able to be out there with Callahan?
Being at 3, just seeing him enjoying it. It's different when they're that little, I would say, because you're actually having fun.
Yeah.
So just the family come out and watching him. At the time, it was just it was a good experience for him. He loved being out there playing.
Yeah.
And just it was just a good feeling. I mean, the ballpark was in a pretty good place. It was still growing, but also too I just enjoyed being out there watching.
Yeah. And then we'll get to the girls in a minute. You left and went to Mulberry.
Yep.
Um,
It's where we lived over that way, so it was just more convenient for us to go to Mulberry.
how
ballpark.
How was that experience?
That was a good experience. Mulberry is a great little hometown. Mike Turner and them. I know there was other involved, but Mike, he put on a good program. Welcomed us over there. Became good friends with them and a couple other people over there. Mulberry is a good place to play baseball.
I've got some good people, man.
Yes,
I've got to know a
people.
lot of them,
Yeah.
Mike and Thomas
Yep.
and a bunch of those.
So it was a great experience, and it just was a lot convenient for us being that way and things like that. So.
Okay. So then after you a couple years of Mulberry, you come back here to Eagle Lake and done double duty. Triple duty. Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Yep. So I got tricked into coaching the travel ball team. Something I just always said I would stay away from. So, you asked me to come coach it. It was something in Cal. Talked to him about it. Something he wanted to do. It was a great experience for us. And then, as we stayed coaching, travel, we came into fall. So when we came into fall, we came into Callahan playing, and then my twins wanted to play.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I wasn't going to go not coach them. And so that was really fun. They played on a good team with a good coach.
So here's the funny thing about that is your daughters, Kerrigan and Charlotte, love y'all guys. Um, you were on one of your assistant coaches was Nick Gonzalez.
Yep.
And who has now become a big dog here at the park.
Yes, I see that and hear that all the time.
And he's a good guy.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about what you. I know it was one season, but tell us a little bit about Nick that you liked and that
Patience. He has patience. But he was very good, dealing with the kids, and it was his first time coaching when he came. So he was learning a lot of things, and I was able to help with a couple of things, in certain areas for him. But just the patience and how he worked with the kids, just very. He wanted to win, but also too, he was just more like, just teaching the kids the right thing and teaching them how to have a good attitude and things like that. So I love it.
So what's the girls up to now?
Well, we had a year of volleyball. So my oldest Audrina, she's at Jenkins.
Yeah.
So she played at volleyball. She played volleyball, and then the twins did too this year.
Okay.
So getting them some stuff, they've been troopers, especially my oldest Audrina. The twins too, but Audrina would come to the baseball fields and watch every
Right.
game.
Right.
Go to the travel early mornings. It was just, she was a trooper and did it. So we kind of had a reverse, and Cal had to go do some watching this time. So,
Part of it.
Yep, part of it. But yeah, played some volleyball and just really hung out.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. I'm gonna one of the some of the coolest things that I can recall, um, especially in the last 2 to 3 years, uh, is one of was you talked about that travel ball team. That was actually one of the first times me and you were able to coach together on a team.
Yep.
And yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yep, it was
I
fun.
really did. And got to pick your brain a little bit on that. And so I appreciate you letting me come on board
Yep.
and help you with that. But we just had the district tournament here at Eagle Lake, and man, if it come up once, it came up 100 times. The semifinal game at Auburndale.
Yeah. Mulberry against Eagle Lake.
Mulberry against Eagle Lake, brother versus brother. You were coaching the Mulberry team. Of course, I was at Eagle Lake, and it went. I actually went back and looked it up. It went 8 innings.
Yep.
Back and forth. Back and forth. Just it was wild.
I think y'all took the lead 5-1 early going.
Yeah.
And then we came back and took it 6-5.
Yep.
And then y'all came back and
tied it
8-6.
8-6.
And then we came back because what was the final score? 11-8 or 14?
No, 17-10.
Oh, okay. So that last inning, that's when y'all had a run.
We had a run then, yeah.
We I think that was probably the most mentally exhausting game. Just, not only because it was hot as it, but it was so back and forth, and we had a chance to win it in the bottom of the sixth.
Well, what a lot of people don't understand about that whole game or that whole day was we were supposed to play earlier, but it started raining,
Yep.
So we had a rain delay that seemed like forever.
Yep.
And then finally when we got to go play, it was still one of the best games I've ever been a part of ever. We got the chance to. Side note, we got a chance to where Callahan and Hunter got a chance to come up to home plate for the.
And that was neat.
That was neat for the umpire meeting. So that was the plate meeting. So that was really really cool. And thanks to Max, the umpire for that day, for allowing us to do that.
Yeah.
That was really really cool. But so the game didn't end until about
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking, okay, as the winner, we didn't know this playing, but as the winner, you would think, okay, game's going to end at 10 o'clock. We can go home, rest, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Well, that didn't happen. And
we tried to play one more game.
Yeah, we ended up going back, giving about 15-minute break, going back and playing the 1 seed, the
Auburndale.
Auburndale team, and ended up losing that game by 1. And but just that whole night, just the idea of you and me coaching on the same team and having an epic game.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I still say Colin Dezier's catch in right field.
That was it. I mean, we had.
That's the game sealer
I
to
had
me.
my best base runner on third, and I had one of my best hitters at the plate, and all I needed was to squeeze it in. And I even thought about that whole time, of some kind of trick play to come up with. I was thinking of doing it, but with one of my best hitters at the plate, I was like, I'm not going to take that chance. I'm a pretty aggressive coach when it comes to base running. That's where a lot of people get aggravated with me. But I was going to take a chance to either get him in a pickle, to get him home. I even thought about doing the halfway trick. At the time, y'all didn't know about too much about that. A lot of people didn't do it. It's something I kind of brought on to Eagle Lake and stirred up some stuff on that. But yeah, he hit it to right field. I mean, if it would have dropped, that would have been a game, and it was a snow cone catch. I mean, it was a great catch. And then we just ran out of gas, ran out of pitching a little bit, and we got back a bat, and we made another run at it. We had bases loaded, and we had a good shot in outfield, and player came home. It was a close ball, but called him out, and it ended the game. So it was just a very my catcher at the time, and I had 2 or 3 catchers, but Isaac
Stevens,
yes,
plays for me now.
Yeah, he caught that whole game in that heat. Because we couldn't use him pitching, but he caught that whole game, and the effort he put in that game was just unbelievable. He gave it all back there. I mean, he hustled the whole game. It We went in extra innings. I had no choice but to pull him just because it was just too much.
Too hot.
Him.
Yeah.
So, and if we would have won, of course, we had the next game against Armdale. So
yeah.
But unfortunately, we didn't get the game. But it was a great game. It's one I'll remember for a while. Callahan still brings it up.
So you was talking about you was thinking about doing some gimmick and trick plays.
Yeah.
I actually had some in my head too, but it's the ones that Dennis Pate taught us years ago, and I always you know what, I can't do this because if anybody on the planet knows these plays, it's Troy.
Yeah. You just got to know when to use them. But,
yeah.
It was there's a couple other other that I was thinking of, but again, I didn't practice all of them.
Right.
So it was going to have to be just.
You got to be right person, right time kind of situation. Yeah, so, I get it.
It's something. If I probably had Callahan, but I had Miles on third, so I could have told him what to do, and I would, there was no doubt, no worry. But I had a good hitter at the plate too. But yeah, you got to have the right person. You got to, they got to have the right chemistry. We a couple times I helped coach this year a little bit, and we was coaching, and one trick I never tried was the hidden ball trick. And Callahan was like, that's never gonna work, Well, I showed him the other day. Clemson did it to a team, and I was like, I told you it works if you do it right. So, yeah. But again, it was a great game. I was, at the end, it was just, Colin made the play.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it was. And that's, and after that, it was just, it's all she wrote. So the fans were in it. It was great. I think the stands were full on both sides. And, I can say one thing about, Mulberry, that's everywhere, of course, but just being a part of Mulberry, very passionate parents, very passionate fans. The same thing here. So
yeah. So you come to Eagle Lake, and you, like I said, you took on a T-ball team to coach your daughters, and then you took over what was my minor league team, with Brad Copeland and Sean Proctor and all that. And then you run off and go win a championship with these boys.
We did.
And so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
and it was really cool because a lot of them boys had been with me for years
Mhm.
and years and years and years and years, and they they deserved one.
Yeah.
And I never, I for some reason I could always get second, but I couldn't get them over that hill. The fact that you was able to get somebody like Bradley and Levi and Bryson over that hill to where they could win a championship was phenomenal. And I also want to thank you because that's pretty much that same bunch.
Yeah.
I brought over, I picked up Bradley and Bryson and Levi, and I had Isaac and Colin Desir and Cam. Cam.
Yep.
I had Cam Thomas Williams, but I had a good core, and we won it this year in the
Yep.
majors. But a lot of that I got to give credit to you because you gave them by y'all guys winning. It helped to me. It helped them understand how to do it. First of all, so what? First of all, how did that feel to come back home, back to Eagle Lake? And as people say, I'll ask that one in a minute. How did it feel to come back home and win a championship back at Eagle Lake?
It felt good. It just brought back memories when I played. Just winning it, but also we had a good team. I can say that, and good coaches. I think the toughest part was the expectations going into the season. I mean, nobody. It was all or nothing. I mean, we was really, pushed on about how we recruited players
That's where I'm
and
going next.
things like that. And I'm glad kids want to play for me and things like. I enjoy that piece, but it's something. Again, it was a great team to coach, but to hold up to the expectations,
Yeah.
it was win everything, and that's what I told them is like, we have a bull. We every game we went into, we had a bullseye on our back. It didn't go into like, all right, well, it's just another team. It was like people, we couldn't lose our edge of saying, we're gonna,
Yeah.
we're just we can't lose. But we had some close games too. I think we ended up we won 21 or 22 straight, and then got beat in the playoffs. But and I think there was, again, I don't think we needed much more motivation, but it really helped because it really took the air out of the whole team.
We were the same way this year, and just I don't know if it was chance or what, but the same coaches that beat you that
Mhm.
year to give you your first loss, beat me this year to give me my first loss.
Yeah.
So Chris Jackson,
Yeah.
so shout out to you. But so yeah, it was, and it was like even with my team this year, it was like we almost needed
Yeah.
it.
And we did, and I think it was because we was pretty close there at the end, a couple games at the you know at the end, we had some close games to where we had to take down the final end, and we had to come back with 4 runs.
Yeah.
It was just the fact that it was probably one of the funnest seasons. Of course, when you win, it's fun. But it's probably one of the most challenging just to keep the kids motivated.
Yeah.
Because again, you hear other people and other kids saying, "Well, y'all's team stacked, or you're the best team," and it's like it gets to your head thinking, "Well, we're the best, so we're not going to lose." But
Yeah.
then when you get out there, the other team that's more hungry than you are to come here and punch you in the mouth, and it's just like, well, you got to wake them up because there was games we got behind and we had to come back because we just got lazy.
So on that, you got it's a running joke around
Yeah.
here now. It really is. And matter of fact, in our chat, when I announced who was going to be my next guest, I actually put he's driving the bus.
Yeah. Driving the bus, the recruit. Yeah. So that was the biggest thing.
Yeah. So did you? I know you didn't take offense to it.
No.
But, I mean,
No.
but was that something like? I mean, did you feel like that was them that people welcoming you more to the back to the ballpark, or how did that?
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of people, for one, Jake and Eagle Lake's whole board. I didn't know Jake before. I never knew anybody on your board but you. So it's just, it was very welcome that they was able to joke and also to, throw jabs at me anytime they want. But it was just very, comforting, to ain't where it's like, well, this guy come in here and he just did this and did that. He made his own rules. No, it was nothing like that. And, and it was very fair. It was very, it was fun though because again, just getting them jabs. If I went to a game to watch somebody, they're like, "Who are you recruiting now?" So it's like I'm not recruiting nobody, but I'm gonna watch to see, and I've watched, Jake and them play even at districts and just watching them, and they got some good players. They had players I'd never seen before, and they had a good team. But they kept that team together, and that's important too. Um, but it was very welcoming. They made me feel at home. Seeing people I knew, I grew up with, that I played with, and I see, you know, parents when I was a kid. Now they're grandparents. They knew they like I knew that was out. You was your son. It's just it was a good feeling.
The thing I get nowadays is I'm coaching kids that I've coached their dads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I ain't had that yet. So I was just telling you, getting old. So.
So, but it's a lot of fun to get to that aspect of it. It
Yeah.
really is. All right. I'm gonna shoot you 4 questions. We call this around the horn.
All right.
All right. Just 4 questions about Troy Booth. All right. Um, question 1: favorite baseball team.
I got a Rays hat on Sunday, but always will be the Atlanta Braves.
Okay. Favorite baseball player.
That's a good one. I would have to go back in the day, Dale Murphy.
Dale Murphy. That's mine too. So, um, we used to sit at home and watch TBS.
TBS, yep.
And watch the Braves. A little more personal.
Mhm.
Favorite time, favorite brother time, favorite moment. It could be with one of us. We're there's 4 of us.
Yep.
So it could be all of us together, each one of us.
Playing backyard baseball. I mean, we had made up our own field. We had
tree in the home plate.
Well, we had a darn shovel stick as a baseball, and we went and bought a 3-pack of tennis balls.
Yeah.
And we played, in the backyard, and we kept track of home runs. We kept track of everything.
We used to live right down the road here in a big 2-story house, and one of the goals was to try to hit it on top of the house.
Yep.
You remember that?
Yep,
It was a lot of fun.
But that was probably the most, just remembering that, doing that, and just getting on there and just letting loose and have fun. So.
Okay. 4th question, and this comes actually from quite a few people, not from me. Okay. From the Eagle Lake community. Are you or will you ever come back to Eagle Lake?
That put me on the spot. So, that's a hard one to answer. It all depends. It's nothing to do with the ballpark. It also, again, me living in South Lakeland, and I love it over there. Um, we got easy access to Mulberry. We're right down the road from Lakeland Highlands. Not too far from Peterson Park. Cal puts pressure on me. I've kind of left it up to him where to play. Um, he has he has a bunch of friends at Mulberry, and he has a bunch of friends here. Like it here because of the facilities. Y'all done such a great job of y'all built a great program. So I would say never, but if I could guarantee I would. But I mean, there's a possibility. People's reached out and asked me, am I going to coach? Am I going to coach travel?
Okay, so finish. Sorry, we had to redo the
That's
camera a little
fine.
bit, but
But we just, I love it here. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's my hometown and seeing it grow. I like to come back and coach. Um, you know, I think travel's been fun for Cal.
yeah,
I think it's been a great experience. It's something he really liked. Um, but having four kids, it's tough to do that.
yeah,
The girls are getting older. Audrey's getting older. She's going to try to do something at George Jenkins. The girls are wanting to do gymnastics. They're wanting to do other things. So it's just hard on that the travel ball piece. So it's something that and Cal's wanting to get involved in other sports as well. I mean, we played when I was little. I played football, baseball, and basketball.
yeah.
Fortunately though, it was different seasons. But then basketball rolled into baseball. But baseball was during the week, and then basketball was during the weekend.
Yeah.
And then
So now you got all the travel ball and all this stuff in every sport, not just baseball. Yeah. So
and I think travel's great. I wish some of the ballparks get. I think the biggest thing for these parks now is people's like, well, it's more competitive in travel ball. Yeah, it is more competitive because we've took out the competitiveness out of rec ball of just saying, all right, these kids are coming out here and playing, which is understandable. But again, I think if we brought that back more in these parks of being more competitive, not just so much here's your participation trophy. I'm a big believer in like, if you lose, you lose. But it's just, I think, uh, we're going to stick to rec. It's something we want to stick to let Cal experience something else as well. But we'll see. I think there's a possibility we'll be back. If we won't be here to be Mulberry, of course, that's our two places we again, where we like to play, enjoy ourselves. But if everything matches up right, we'll be back.
You talked about briefly right there. You talked about the travel ball aspect, and I'm a little like you. And I've told people like Sean Proctor this is I am as old school as it gets, and uh, I it was, but back when we grew up, it was rec ball and all stars, rec ball and all stars, and we put the emphasis on the all stars because that's
Yep.
that was what we'd strive for.
And then back then, when you went to districts, it wasn't Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
No,
Sunday.
it
Was you got there Saturday morning and tournament was over Sunday night or
yeah,
Monday night.
yeah.
That's how it was. It was a 2-loss tournament, and
And
you drew what you drew, and if you played the two best teams, that was just what you drew. So
all right, so Troy, the the this we've got something cool coming up in the fall here at Eagle Lake, and I know you're big. You're big on that. We got softball coming back to Eagle Lake. We used to have it. You remember back in the day, we used to have softball here and a dominant softball organization. Um, how do you feel about softball coming back to Eagle Lake?
I think it's great. I think softball was just as, if not bigger than it was the baseball back when I was growing up. We had the field over here that was softball, but they was always competitive come All Star season. But also, I give uh, the Thomases, grew up here in Eagle Lake. Their
They're
family.
still here.
Yep, still here. But just the fact of they was involved a lot as well on the softball side. But I think it's great that and I know you're starting off small, but I think it's great again to bring it back. Softball is becoming competitive, even much as travel ball.
Oh yeah.
I mean, as far as around this area, from what I see and experience, every time I go by Lake Christina, they're out there playing. Mulberry right now, Mulberry, they got a team that was in state, a couple teams in state, that did pretty well. Just seeing it come back over here, it's just a good feeling, to just again to bring something different to the table that's been, bring something back. It's always good, but I think it'll perform well here in this area.
Uh, let's talk about you. You've obviously been again here, Mulberry. You played 1 year or something at Lakeland Highlands.
We played at Carter Road.
Carter Road,
Yep,
yeah.
I was coaching there. Yeah, we played 1 year there. But
So, which is South Lakeland to most of y'all
hmm
guys that don't know. And they're on the rise. They're coming back. Got a great new president, and can't wait to see what they got. So, what as a district, I should let's put it, or as a county. Let's do the county as a county because you got Haines City, and now we've got
hmm
Frostproof that's dabbling in now, and Bartow and Fort Meade's into the mix here in Cowrican. So how do you feel about what do you think about the new or the way the county's actually growing in baseball?
it's unbelievable. Just coming to the districts here this year, and I saw Bartow here, and saw Fort Meade, and I'm like, I didn't know they was part of Cal Ripken, Babe Ruth. What do you call it now? It was just they was the good old Dixie Youth or Dixie
Yeah,
Lewis. So
that's what it was.
when I saw, I was like, wow. Just expanding it more to where it's at now. I think it's again because we wouldn't see Bartow until invitationals.
Yeah,
We wouldn't see some of these teams, for some of the players out of Fort Meade, or you'd have to go there to travel to see them. But county wise, I think it's wonderful what they're doing to get everybody on the same page. It just helps, just with the competition wise. It's going to help more when you want to put on tournaments,
right.
with AB tournaments, because we have a lot of talent here in Polk County, to where you don't have to keep going to Wesley Chapel or Orlando, all the way to Plant City all the time to play a travel ball team, a travel ball tournament. You have some great fields here, Eagle Lake. You know, the county is done. I don't know who pushes more to get these teams organized, but if it's a county run ballpark, I encourage the county to keep pushing, to help improve these baseball fields. That's where we need our kids in these fields, doing things. Parents, some communities have parents that can dedicate a lot of time, and I see it happening. Um, and that's great. But the county, we don't do a lot of stuff without the county and pushing stuff. You get the sponsors and everything like that. I mean, here just at Eagle Lake, with the David, he comes out here. I seen, when I was out here, it's like he was out here every day, and he wasn't
And
even playing.
Tyler Bowen and his
Yeah,
dad
Tyler
too.
Bowen. Yeah, Tyler Bowen. Seeing him, the time they put in and still raise a family, and still, you know, you know, run their businesses, and just, that's great. The county don't see a lot of that, I don't think, and you know, got to figure out how the county can get more resources, more money into these ballparks to help them. Some of the smaller ones, because some of the smaller ones may not have the backing to have the contacts to the county,
Right.
or they might not have that district or zone, representative that doesn't care. I don't say so much about the baseball part, but just maybe doesn't have the same feelings as a lot of other people have.
Well,
So
I know that, like I said, Bartow and Fort Meade are in Cal Ripken now. Um, we've got this AB that we've been doing the last couple of years. I know Frostproof has joined. They're going to actually host one this year, which is really cool. We've got a brand new league that's not affiliated with anybody. They're starting this year. Actually, it's going to start in the fall called West Lakeland, and like I said, they're going to start this fall in the AB, which I'm excited about that. Uh, I've got inside information that Lake Alfred is coming back. They're building brand new ball fields.
Now, where's the West Lakeland out of?
They're over um, around the Publix
Okay.
area, the Wabash area.
Okay.
So,
And
but so
Lake Alfred as well.
Lake Alfred, they're starting to get plans together on building a brand new ballpark there.
Wow.
Polk City is growing. I'm following them on Facebook, and they're doing really well. Of course, we know about Eagle Lake and Mulberry and Auburndale and Winter Haven. Haines City's growing, doing really well, participating in all of our tournaments and AV and all that. The county, from the last I heard, is trying to find somebody to take over the Dundee ballpark. So yeah, I think it's growing,
Yeah.
and it's going to continue to grow. So I'm actually excited to see that. All right, Troy. So one last thing, I always do this. Question for the legend. Do you have a question? Any kind of question for me?
Question for you.
Normally, I give everybody a heads up. I apologize. I did not give you a heads up.
Yeah. All right. So, question for you: if you had a crystal ball going and you with your travel, but not so much your travel ball team, where do you see Eagle Lake in 5 years?
Uh, Bigger than it's ever been. I really do. I think I see us tapping into something in the future um, that would not only help the park but would help the surrounding county as well. I see that. I see we try to. I think we come together as a county more than a league. Eagle Lake in 5 years, one of, if not the biggest baseball communities uh, in not only in Polk County but in the state of Florida. I think we're on the path to do that. I think there's some right roads that we can go down to make that happen. I'd like. I'm not saying this is in 5 years, but we just hosted the district here. I'd like to see us host the state.
When's the last time Eagle Lake had state?
I don't think we've ever had. Well, if it's been, I can't remember.
It was. I was 12U majors, and we held state here. It was during. Let's see, I was 12. Let's do some math here. 30 years ago. About 30 years ago. So you figure. Shoot. It's been over. Had to be over. I would say I was 12. So it was back in 92, 93.
93. Yeah.
Because we held the state here.
Okay. Yeah. So I want to see. I'd like to see that come back.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it. And now it's different now than it was then though, because the state tournament back then is you hosted everybody.
Yeah.
From T-ball all the way up to prep. It's almost like a district tournament basically.
Yep.
The way that they do it nowadays is you host the division. It might be the 9 and 10 U's. It might be the 11 and 12 U's. And that's another thing that's changed that in baseball as well. Is back then it was T-ball. Back then we didn't have rookie. It was T-ball, minor, majors,
and pony.
Now it's gotten to the point where you have a 7U, an 8U, a 9U, a 10U, 11U, a 12U, a 13, all the way up to 16U now. And so it's going. I believe it'd be a lot easier to run a state tournament with only two divisions. Um, you would do it'd still be the minors, but it would be the 9 and 10 Utes,
Yeah.
or the majors being the 11 and 12 Utes. But I can see us doing that, and I hope that one day that it does that, that we can do that. I think the district went well. I think we did a really good job with it, and but yeah, I also, not with Eagle Lake, but one thing that I would like to do. Our brother done this, Denny. I'd like to put together, get kids from the state or from the county, and put together a Polk County team.
Yeah, he did very well with that. He went to World Series 3 out of 5 years.
Yeah,
Won it twice.
yeah,
Um, he coached players like McCutcheon that plays for the Pirates.
Yep.
Coached a couple other players. And Denny was young. Denny was young. He was 21, 22, coaching these 16, 18-year-old teams. And he done well with them. Denny was a very good ball player, but, again, being around baseball, he learned how to coach it. It's something Dennis helped put that team together too. But just going around the county and recruiting, and that would be big to do again. I think that would just, if you have 16, 18-year-olds, to take the best ones around the county and go do it again. But that was fun to watch and fun to follow as
yeah.
well.
So, all right, buddy. Well,
All right.
I appreciate you.
Thank
This
you.
is Troy Booth, y'all guys, my brother, and it's
Thanks
good
for
to
having
see you,
us.
man.
Next time you got to have Callahan on.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I got to get my buddy Cal here.
He's the fan favorite. Everybody loves Callahan,
So yes, and I love him to death. Tell him I said hello.
Will do.
Tell the girls I said hi, and thanks for joining us, guys. This is the legend, between two eagles' nests. See you next week. Bye, y'all.